All right, so I wanted to make this video. I'm actually watching a video on YouTube, Sparkling Clean Detailing. He's going to detail this lady's car. And as you can see, her truck is in really bad condition. But the reason why, and I blotted out the guy's face, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because the guy approached the detailer and asked him about his truck. And that's great right there. When you go to detail one person's car and somebody else comes up to you. Now, the only issue, and the issue that I had with the video was the guy was like, his car's not that bad. And his main concern was really his mats. So I'm going to actually go ahead and get to the part of the video showing the interior of the car. Okay, so now we're at the truck. And as you can see, it's in really bad condition. You can tell that the dash has some oxidation up here. The leather seats are really oily, and you can tell that there's a crack right here. Now, there you have it. You can see the crack a little bit better right there. And you can actually see the guy showing them the crack on the leather. Now back to this part of the video, as you can see that there's a lot of buildup here. Okay, that's not going to get blown out, and it's going to take some extraction to remove that. So detailers should have 3 different packages. Okay, you should have your basic package, right? Gold package, your best or platinum package. I'm going to take you to my website so I can show. As you can see, my website is right there, clean-auto-detailing.myshopify.com. Pretty long, need to get it shortened, but it is what it is. You hit shop now, and once you go to shop now, you go to interior detailing. You're going to notice that there are different packages for different size vehicles. So you have your basic package for the coupe, sedan, SUV, and truck, and then you have your third row vehicles. And this is for a basic package. So on a basic package, what detailers do is the dominant use of steam is used to clean the vehicle. Any other place that may have a little bit heavier staining or dirt, we may spot clean that, but that's really about it. We're not using a whole lot of, we're not going to use an overuse of chemicals because you chose the wrong package. Now you have your gold package. Now, difference on the gold package is that you're going to use a non-surfactant cleaner to clean the plastics of the vehicle. A non-surfactant cleaner does not foam up. It is used for maintenance cleaning. That's why you have those little wipes and everything. And it makes everything look wet when it's being cleaned. So you have that particular cleaner, again, is for maintenance cleaning. Now, when it comes down to the carpets on this particular clean, detailers will often use an extraction spray down the carpets and spray down the seats, and they'll use a steamer with a triangle head, and they will start to scrub to collect as much dirt from the carpets and from the seats as humanly possible. If there's some staining on this seat or that seat, they may spray foam on there. Foam sits on top. Okay, it can collapse if you let it sit too long. But it's going to sit on top, and the detailer will then use a rag to, wipe up any dirt that's on the seats and or the carpet. Sometimes detailers will pull out the extractor to extract the foam that was put into the seats. Now, your platinum package, this is for a deeper clean. You're going to go and you're going to spray a solution into the seats and carpet. Now that solution is going to soak into the seats and the carpet. It's going to get even to the foam. So when the detailer goes to extract, they can pull the dirt that is trapped in that seat. All right. So any staining, oils, skin cells, all of that, it's going to get extracted out of your vehicle. Now, there are cases where there are extreme conditions. And as you can see right here, it shows level 2 and level 3 extreme conditions. Now, there are cases, and then I have a description down here on what happens on each one of those packages. Now, when you go down to the a la carte, you can actually choose a higher tier, so which would be level 4, which is an additional $300. Okay, this is going to make sure that I have the car long enough to dry it, see if there's any issues, and then go back and repeat the steps to make sure that I can get that car back to looking close as possible to being brand new. So again, choosing the right package is really imperative. So going on Google, I typed in, if I choose a basic detail package and need a deep clean to remove stains embedded in my seats, will my car look worse? And this is what it says. It is possible that your car seats could look worse immediately after a basic clean if they have deep embedded old stains. So again, detailers are not trying to upsell you. Okay? If you have staining, if we are looking between the fibers of the seats and we see stuff trapped in there, if you're talking about my car's not that bad, some detailers may not argue with that, and they just go in and they do the basic clean. It's not until you get your car back that you may not even notice that there are issues with it, or you may notice that there are issues with it, but you're like, hey, like, man, the fibers look like they still stuck together and everything. Well, you chose the basic package. The basic package is Sting. If you want all of that taken out, it would have to be the extraction, and that uses more chemicals to extract that out. Or so my gold tier, I use foam, and then I go ahead and I extract. And then on a platinum tier, I spray a solution into the fibers of the seat and into the carpets, and then I extract. That pulls more dirt. So any stains, like spills and everything, and that's soaked into your seat, I can actually extract that up out of there and everything. But you chose the basic package. If the detailer doesn't want to argue it with you, or maybe they're tired of telling people what they need and they're just letting people choose what they need, this is where your issues end up occurring. It ends up occurring. Give you an example of a car that I detailed. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. If you really look at it, you can see that this vehicle, that seat is not absolutely clean. Not clean the rest of the car. You can tell by looking at the rest of the car. But if you look at this particular seat, you can see staining, how it's like white right there. This comes from, constantly the guy getting into the car, and the dye from his clothes, the dirt that's attached itself to his pants and so forth, gets trapped in between the fibers of the seat. However, the individual, I told them that they need a deep clean, but I could do a basic clean because I was doing a special. And I explained to him, I said, I would go with the deep clean, because he did tell me before if I did a good job, then he'll come back for a deep clean. And when he messaged me that information, I just was thinking to myself, like, dude, who are you trying to play? You're expecting for me to do more than what I should do, and so I can get more business from you in the future. And I wasn't going for that. So I did the basic clean to the vehicle. The guy was very happy with the outcome and everything. So it was no issues at all. But this area where you can look at it and you can see that it's like kind of got like that white little tint right there, that has to be extracted out. I can't do a basic package on that and get you the results that you may want on that particular vehicle and everything. However, the rest of the vehicle did come out really good. Here's a better picture from when I first got the vehicle in. You can see how bad of a shape it was in versus now. It's a lot lighter and everything. But again, like I said, in a lot of cases, like I said, if a person picks a package, that's perfectly fine with me. But when I see the car, okay, I'm going to explain to you the circumstances, and then also the difference that you can expect in your vehicle. Meaning that if you went with the deep clean, you would be looking at a 80 to 100% difference. If you go with the basic clean based off the conditions of the car, because you need a deep clean, then you're looking at about a difference between 30 and 40%. You're not looking at a 50% difference. You're looking at somewhere around about 30% difference. Now, the benefit that you have of still having that car detailed is it's going to look a lot cleaner. But it is going to possibly look like you just brought that vehicle from a car wash and you vacuumed it out and went over it with the Armor Raw rag, and in 3 or 4 days you're going to be looking to go over it again with the Armor Raw rag, versus when a detailer does a proper clean, then the car gets detailed and you're extremely happy about the results of that detail, because 2 or 3 months later, you still, your dash looked like it was just cleaned. Only thing you have to do is just dust it. That's why I try to leave a microfiber towel in everybody's car to just dust their dash off whenever something gets on there. And I tell them, don't press hard, because then you'll remove the coating. Just go ahead and dust it off gently and everything. But nevertheless, choosing the right package is very important. I'll give you another example. You can see how oily the seats are here. Okay, so if the guy had told the detailer, my car's not that bad, and then he said, well, I got 3 packages, I would suggest that you go with the deep clean, and the customer said, well, you know what, I just want to go with the basic clean, and my main concern is just the mats. Okay, problem with that is that the detailer is going to have to use a 3-in-1 leather cleaner. Okay, and they're going to use that in a microfiber rag, and they're going to scrub the seat by hand. Okay, so the reason why that's an issue is because your car seat is going to look cleaner, but that particular product is meant for maintenance use. You have to clean your car with a surfactant leather cleaner in order to get the oils and all of the staining and everything that's in your leather, in order to get that out. Okay, so you're going to follow a 3-step process in cleaning the leather, versus you just using a 1-step, which is a cleaner and a conditioner at the exact same time. You will end up being, screwing yourself at the end of the day. And it's just like in this particular case, the guy ended up showing cracks in the leather and everything like that. Car is not taken care of that much. You can see dirt over there. At least he does have a trash bag to collect everything, but you can see that the dirt is so bad in the vehicle that it's gotten under the mats that are in the vehicle. If you don't have mats in your vehicle, please get you some mats, because the carpet that these car makers put in the cars are very cheap, and they're matted, and so it's already hard enough to clean and maintain. But you're not having any padding down there, like a rubber mat or a carpet and mat. The problem that you're gonna face is that cheap carpet is going to tear up. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope that you choose the right detail package and a great experience.